What's up, everybody? My name is Brian McLogan, and this is my live stream for predictions in education. So I am not doing any open live Q&A today. I just kind of figured I know some students are getting back into school this week. Some students might have, already started back in school or have exams, or, whatever may be the case. But I just kind of figured I wanted to try this new um, kind of online. I want to try this new kind of experience for the mobile stream, and so therefore that was only kind of possible on today. So what I want to do is talk about the kind of predictions that I'm seeing in education. So as I was kind of looking over through my goals that I have for this kind of upcoming year, I also just kind of did a little bit of thought predictions, or just kind of like some thoughts of like where I'm kind of seeing the landscape of education, and I don't know, and maybe this might help you, make some decisions on your end, or maybe kind of adjust and pivot, because I think that's really important when we are doing kind of some like thought process or questions, like to understand like how we can adjust, or make some pivots as some things kind of like as they come up. The one thing I did like about this, if you guys remember on my last live stream, I was actually using my mobile phone to stream, but the problem with this was I couldn't actually display the the text. So I know as like the texts are coming up on the chat, if you're on the YouTube or on your mobile, it should show up like this. But yeah, I thought this would be a little bit better. So Cole's like, hey, and FNA lover one. Well, hello. All right. So one thing though, next week I will go back into my desktop view and I will go ahead and take some questions. So again, if you guys do have questions, I put in the link here. You guys can just go to brianmclogan.com/Q&A. I also can go ahead and put up a nice little thing. I thought that was pretty cool that I can now display this. You can see this, have a question, ask here, Brian McLogan Q&A. I also think that also just want to do a quick reminder on my Discord server. If you have not already joined the Discord server, I think that's like also an excellent way for you guys to kind of get help from other students. Because one thing I will talk about in my prediction is something that would be kind of counter to using the Discord server. However, I think this is going to be something where the Discord server is going to become even more important for us to be able to understand and make some changes for there. That would be interesting. Not sure. I never went through anything in the Regents exam, but yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of changes I think that are going to need to happen in the education spectrum. That's a great question. I think I might be having a video on and for that, how do I class for a new class in there. So I'll maybe have a video for on that. I'll talk more about that. Yes, I do have a Discord server, so go ahead and take a look at my comments in the beginning. I can also go ahead and pin my comments. Or it's in the description. Actually, no, I don't think this is in the description. Actually, I think I changed it. So let me actually go and put this in the description here real quick. I love being able to work back, have this as like a mobile version, but being able to actually have the capabilities that I have like on my desktop, which is, I love that. All right, so yeah, now the links are in the Discord server if you want to go ahead and check them out. So let's talk about some predictions, shall we? And again, I'm not going to go over any Q&A for you guys. I will be getting back to, again, the math questions coming up next week. And I do plan on going live I do plan on going live every single Sunday night. I do have some updates, though, for me that I'll talk to you guys about after my predictions. So let's go through the predictions. And I don't think the predictions, it's kind of, I was watching the NFL and, or the colleges, how like they always have the predictions and like there's usually nothing like that's very exciting. It's like you kind of already expect it and know it. And I mean, I kind of feel like these are how these predictions are. I don't really have an over like a very like strong anti like, or I don't know, a surprising prediction, I guess you would say. However, one of these predictions, I'll say I've changed. Two of them have been gone up. One I've been saying for a really, really long time. And then the other one, I actually never thought it'd be like this, but it's actually getting worse and worse. So let's go with prediction number one. I think prediction number one is that the colleges are going to continue, are actually going to get worse as far as, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. I think the colleges are going to have some serious issues with with recruiting students. And so I think there's going to be some big financial issues that are going to be, really starting to undertake in the last year. I think a lot of times, and this has been something that I've been talking about for years and years and years. For at least for in the last like 5 to 8 years, I've been talking about this. I've been seeing it. Like the cost of education just doesn't make sense for what you're getting out of it. Right. And I think what happened was COVID obviously really exposed that. People were running like, why am I taking the school? And especially like schooling's going online. Like, why do I have to be staying here and everything like that? Um, and the um, and once we had COVID, though, I think a lot of the colleges and a lot of like the national kind of oversight was like, it's because COVID. Like, well, they'll come back, and like a college education is still like, you know, helpful and very important. Everybody needs a college education or like that. But I think, now you're seeing with this, maybe possible global recession, or you're seeing like the labor market, how, bad we're in need of students, or just, we need people that actually can work. Right. And then also seeing like what you're getting out of, actually going to a college campus, and how much money colleges are spending on their housing and all that. Like, it's gotten away from like the research institutions um, and the research and like the teaching, and really kind of focus more on like the recruitment of students and sports and everything like that. So I think there's going to be a big reckoning, and if it doesn't already kind of start to go within this next year, it's going to be happening very soon. But I think one thing, we're going to start seeing the cracks starting to open a lot more in the colleges, and I think it's just going to get worse and worse. Which for me has, especially like the student loan, debt and everything like that. Like, it's, in my opinion, it's a lot of that has been on the colleges, keep on pushing that down. Like, it's putting a lot of students and a lot of people and, a lot of families in really financial, stress, with their finances because of that. And so I think a lot of that's going to come back to, bite those colleges. And I think that reckoning is coming around the corner. I think the next prediction. So again, that prediction is like a lot of people have kind of been saying, but a lot of people like have been in denial. Like, no, colleges are going to be just fine. Like, and I think, of course, yes, some of the big colleges will be just fine, just because they always have their name and the money behind them. But there is, I think there's going to be some really, really serious issues. Like, this whole rethinking of college kind of started with COVID, but it wasn't because of COVID. It goes much deeper than that. We need people that are competent and that can work and that can produce a society, and college is not for everyone. Yes, I am big proponent of a college education, huge proponent of it. However, I'm also a huge proponent of not feeling like everybody needs to go to college and spend that much amount of money and not getting the return on that investment. Okay, number 2. Now the college one, I was like, oh yeah, I've been predicting it for a while. I've known it's kind of been coming through. I am starting to see, though, like the enrollment's not coming back from COVID. Like, I think that some of the colleges were hoping for, or universities. And so that's where I'm kind of making that prediction of this year. Like, we're going to start seeing some bigger issues start to come up. Now, the next thing was something that obviously I am really sad about, because I don't know how it can be reversed, but it's another prediction that I think is going to get worse and worse, which is kind of very connected to the college and universities. But I think our like teacher shortage is just going to get worse. I think it's I think that we're going to be at a severe shortage, with the need of like high quality teachers. And I don't know what to, think about that, because obviously on my side, like, that's part of me, right? I stepped away from the classroom 2 years ago, for my own personal reasons. But I think a lot of the reasons why I'm stepping away from the classroom is some of the reasons why other, teachers are as well. But I think I think what the landscape and what we've turned, the K through 12 education, as I'll kind of focus on, has just been really difficult, for teachers and families. And I think with um, like the outlook, right, of, trying to recruit, not only new teachers, but keeping high quality teachers, is just going to become a harder and harder, burden for schools. And I think that's, one of the things that we have to do is like, adjust how we are, keeping, retaining, and recruiting teachers. And I also think and also how we're like educating our students. I think we just can't fall back on doing the same old and just expect, oh, teachers will come back. Let's just pay them more. It's not all about the money. Like, trust me, if I was paid more, I still would have had to step away from the classroom. Like, so much more salary was not going to change the reasons why I wanted to, why I had to, leave the teaching profession. Obviously, I think that teachers should be paid, paid more, but I think it's all relative term. It's I my big position is I want every child, especially like my own, right? Now I have children in the school system. Like, I want every child to have a high quality teacher. And I understand you're not always going to have high quality teachers. I mean, that's just the lottery, I mean, of life, right? You're going to have great bosses. You're going to have horrible bosses. You're going to have great teachers. You're going to have bad teachers. Like, some teachers might be great, but they're not great for you. Right. And that's life. And I think that is important for us to get a variety of teachers. I think some of the things that what I have seen, and what's part of this is I think the Department of Education, the department, like, for the states and as well as in the United States, like, trying to control or have so much of a grasp of that educational sector. And I think that we're losing a little bit of that, that's teacher autonomy, which is tough because I can see the point of, controlling that, wanting to making sure that our students are getting quality education, right? And that they're getting consistent education from teacher to teacher, from district to district, from state to state. Like, I understand that point in reasoning. Um, but I think that also, like, I remember if you're trying to make all teachers teach the same, like the same, and be the same, um, it's just not going to work out. Like, I mean, that's just not how education was, created, and stuff like that. I think we have to be more open to, um, using using technology, being more flexible. Like, one thing I hated with like my job, like one thing that probably could have actually kept me, just as like one small little tweak, is if there would have been like some flexibility at my school district for me to be able to be like a part-time, teacher, where I could still kind of be inside the classroom. I could still maybe teach like a course, kind of more like a college, professor, where I could like actually have some courses and like teach from there, um, and still kind of go through that, routine of being a teacher, but not have to do that full time, teacher gig. Now, honestly, I probably still would have to have stepped away. I wouldn't have been able to do it, but I definitely would have given that a hard look. And I think there's so many high quality teachers that we have that are sitting on the sidelines, and we just got to keep on upping up the ante until we can get those teachers back into the classroom. Because I will tell you, I think right now what I'm seeing in Florida is they're focusing on trying to get new teachers. And I think that's the wrong strategy. I think the right strategy is getting those high quality teachers that have been inside the classroom, maybe that retired just like me, like, get those teachers back in, like, figure out what it is that is unique in your own county, your own school, like, that they need, and work to be able to provide that to them, that they'll keep on coming back. And it's not always just about money. And I know money is a very easy thing because it's very easy to see, or like, and rank and be like, oh yeah, we just give them the salary. But again, as we notice, like with inflation, I mean, like our school district recently passed, maybe I think 2 years ago, like they increased the salaries of all the teachers. Well, with inflation, that like just like evaporated. Like, it doesn't mean barely anything anymore. It just means now that they are not as they're just less underpaid, right? So, I think there's going to be uh, some changes that need to be made. Unfortunately, though, I'm not as confident that the right changes and the right, decisions are going to be made to really keep the high quality teachers, inside the classroom, and that's kind of sad. That's sad for me. That's sad for me as a parent. That's sad for me as a former teacher. That's sad for me, like, for helping students that I think are going through schooling at this time, or about to go through different grades. That that there's teachers that are out there that are willing, able, and would be great, amazing teachers. But they've decided that teaching is not, teaching in that environment is not for them. And I think that's a real big disservice we are doing, not the teachers, not blaming them because I am them, right? Not blaming them, but that's a big problem I think as a society that we have, and we need to grasp it for sure. Why do I still have this on there? Yeah. And let's go ahead and let me think about. Oh yeah, the third prediction. So I think the third prediction, and this is one that's like crazy. Like the more I've been watching on this, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to work out. It's just like it scares me what the possibility is. Now, I will preface this. I do remember like I feel so old. That's so funny. Um, I remember like when I'd be in school and people were like, "Oh yeah, I remember this," and like I feel so old. And then you're just like, I don't know, it's like a cliche thing. And then now I'm looking at something. I remember watching videos in like 2000, I don't know, 2010, 2012, and like literally being scared for the future, right? Um, because what they did was they're talking about like social media and how fast social media is changing the landscape, right? And here's all these predictions that's gonna be happening in the next 5, 10 years. And you just like look at it and you're like, oh my God, in the next 5, 10 years, like I'm not even gonna recognize life. Like it was like I remember watching this video. It was actually before I started my YouTube channel. So it probably would have been like around 2010. Um, and yeah, it was just like, God, I wish I could find that video. That would be a really good idea. See if I could see that, like, just to kind of see like what came true out of that. Because I think it probably is on YouTube. It wasn't like a general thing, but the the thing was like I just remember watching it, and it's like you got to change, you got to adapt, right? Things are not going to be the same in the next 5, 10 years. And that's why I kind of started my YouTube channel, where I was like, people are going to be watching videos, right? And they're going to be watching math, learning math online. And so that's why I just like went crazy, where I made 12,000 videos and just started posting them. Like that was my big main gig that I wanted to, work after. Well, you know, things did move fast. Like things have changed a lot since 2010 for sure, right? But I wouldn't say like world is not like unrecognizable. Like, I mean, for a lot of things move fast, but a lot of things still kind of move and change slow. Well, the next kind of prediction, which I really do think though is going to be a big game changer, which I do really think is going to make some big changes, is the AI. Particularly what I'm talking about is like open Chat GPT. Like I looked at that and I was seeing that, I'm like, this is crazy. Like it really is, because I made a video last week on it. It didn't do a great job with my math video, right? But it's like all that AI needs is just more information. The more information it gets, the better, the faster it's going to be. And it's just like, it's kind of scary. Like, and obviously you can go down the rabbit hole of the same kind of thing, like watching those like predictions of like, here's what AI, and it's like, we're not even gonna have like a society anymore. And like, everybody's just gonna work on basic income, and like, robots are gonna rule the world. Um, which is like it's just, I don't know. It's so hard to like visualize and see what the world is going to look like in 5, 10 years. And yes, a lot of that is going to be true. I think just like in the social media thing, like the world is going to be completely different in 5, 10 years. Like you're going to look back, you're like, oh my God, that was so, um, things are going by so slow back then. Right. But in the same breath, like things are going to be changing slowly. But the point that I wanted to make with this prediction was like, I do really feel like that AI is going to have a immense change on the like education. And there's so many like apps like for like even like on Google, like I look on the Google map, and it's like, oh, take a picture of your homework, right? And whereas it makes you think, like sometimes when I don't know how to do a problem, you're like, you Google search it, right? And then you're looking through 5 or 10 like tabs, and you're trying to look for like, I'm not trying to find the answer. Like there's websites that will show me the answer, but sometimes I want an explanation, right? And I want to see like, all right, so I'll go on YouTube. Does anybody on YouTube solve this problem? Alman gives me an explanation. Or can I go to like a website? Like obviously you can go to a forum, type it in and wait for a response, but I want to see, has anybody like previously worked out and explained a problem? Well, like, and sometimes like that, sometimes it does happen. It's like, awesome, cool. Like now I understand why they did that, did this the problem the way they did, right? And sometimes you get that like with a sometimes you get that with like a math software where you type in and gives you the answers, right? An explanation. But sometimes you still need like some better context. But with like the chat GPT, it was like crazy. It's like you can type in like show me explain and I mean it'll give you like a detailed it can give you just an answer or it can give you like a detailed explanation. Um like it can create a lot of math problems, um a lot of math tests, like explanations. Like I just see you just see look at the opportunities and I'm like, this is crazy. This is going to I think what my prediction is it's going to start I think like kind of like how my brain is like spinning, even though I don't really plan on um even though I don't really plan on like starting a business with the like AI or anything like that. Like, but it does make me think like, how am I going to need to like adjust my content? Right. And again, like my channel has always like my channel has always been like I want to explain, I want to help students understand math. And like I know I can make different content, like the chat, like I do plan on making some different content like through the year just to kind of, change it up a little bit, but still like I am a tutorial based channel. Like I just love explaining math, teaching math, and helping students with their math, right? I mean, like that's my main um that's my main goal from that, right? So the but anyways, my point that I was trying to say was I see a lot of like opportunity coming with this AI in the educational form. And I think it's going to be a big adjustment. Like, right, we've talked about, a lot like with I was in like I'm in some teacher groups on like Facebook, and like one of them, they're like, hey, like, how do you, stop students from doing like photo math and like, change it up? Well, that's like all out the window. Like now you have Chat GPT, like when you have that AI, like that can basically help you out from there. Like it doesn't matter. Like that can bypass some of the photo math, so like these tricks and stuff like that. However, what I will say though, and what's even more important throughout all of this is what we need is humans as far as their understanding and be able to take the information from an AI like Chat GPT and be able to analyze it, adjust it, and like utilize it. So I'm not a pessimist on this kind of information, thinking it's going to replace me or replace math teachers, or replace like every industry. Like, yeah, it's definitely going to replace some industries that um, I think that can do faster and better, right? For it. I mean, that's just the reality of it. But I think like the having understanding like why we need students to be able to understand math and to be able to address it, like I think is going to become even more important and how we're teaching our math. Um, so yeah, so I think the prediction is this AI is going to definitely disrupt. There's definitely going to be some disruption in like the educational apps and like education in general from this AI. So it's definitely something to keep watch on. I don't have any like stake in the grounds, like this is exactly going to happen. And I think some of these things from last year you've already kind of seen. But I think this 2023, I think some things are going to move a little bit further. Like I said, going back through my predictions, I think colleges are really going to see these cracks are going to start to open. There's going to be, I think, some serious issues with a lot of these universities that are not getting the student population coming back, and they're realizing that the prices for go to college and get a degree is just not worth it for what we need. People like if we end up going into a recession and whatever else, like we need people to be working, right? Um, we need people that obviously we're always going to need people with degrees and education in that regard, but there's going to be some big issues with the student debt, stuff like that. And then also I think the next couple of years the teacher vacancy is going to be a really really big issue that's just going to keep on plaguing our educational system. So I'm a big proponent of that, and I'm willing to do whatever I need to do to be a voice to help improve that, because obviously I'm invested, with my children in the educational system, and obviously being a teacher myself that stepped away from the classroom, like I want the best for all students from on there, and and then yeah, I think this AI is really going to actually make a disruption into the educational space. So those are my predictions. Let's go ahead and talk about real quick three. Oh, did I set? Oh yeah. Let me go and set up real quick things for. I want to sit in. I guess I'll just hit enter. But anyways, I want to show you guys something real quick. Dang, I can't say that. Okay. So a couple things. 3 changes actually I'm making to the channel. One thing is the open live Q&A that I'll be doing, like where I answer math questions and go over this. I will actually want to start pivoting or trying to go over my live stream at 8:30. So I will schedule them a little bit better in from that time. And but yeah, I'm gonna plan on doing these actually 8:30, which is a 30-minute move up from my 9 p.m. window. So that just kind of really goes off of my kids' bedtime. So now they're in a little bit more of a rhythm at home. I think I might be able to sneak in 8:30, whereas I was at 9 before just because it like took so long to get them to bed and everything like that. Like I think now I'm in a better rhythm that I think we can do 8:30. So I'm gonna try doing 8:30. That just allows me a little bit more time to either do a live stream if I need to do a long one, or if I need to kind of like calm down from a live stream, because sometimes I get pretty excited and therefore then like to do my nighttime routine or go to bed. The other thing I wanted, I didn't even show you guys this. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is a couple things that I want to be doing. 2 things. Is the first one, I gotta take a link for you guys. So hold on a second. I'm gonna go to my YouTube channel and I'm going to take a link for you guys and put it on here. But my playlist might go through. No, where is this? Sorry, hold on a second. Maybe my videos? Sorry, I'm just trying to find this. So I was trying to think. Yeah, there it is, featured. Hope this shows up. I'm going to go and push this link in here for you guys. And then, so, all right. I think that showed up. I think that's good. Okay. Well, anyways, one thing I wanted to do on my channel is expand on my content. So this is something I've been working on behind the scenes. And if you are taking a particular, taking a particular course that aligns to either one of these channels, then feel free to subscribe and join in. I am making some additional content. So I make a lot of content. I still do. Every week I'm like recording tons of videos. And so anyways, I will be posting those. Most of those videos will still be on my main channel. I still want to, I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with still doing daily or every other day. I'm just not sure. But either way, if one or the other, I'm still going to be posting videos on my main channel, math videos, as well as like talking videos and lives. And then also, I am also going to be posting more like just tutorial based on my additional channels. So that's why I sent you that link there. If you guys want to go ahead and check out any one of those channels, I'll be posting some more videos. I'm a little bit inconsistent. I apologize for that, but I'm hoping to build that up here rather shortly. So I will improve. I swear. I'm just trying to get into a rhythm on that. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up with you guys is new, which I had, is my tutor opportunity. So I had this at the beginning of the year. I had some amazing, I had some amazing time with some students that I was able to tutor for free because I get asked to tutor people all the time. And yeah, it's just unfortunately I just can't tutor everybody, and I can't even do it for money. Like it's too time consuming. However, if you are interested in having me help you with tutoring, or helping you in a class, I am willing to tutor you for free. However, there is a catch, and that catch is your session is going to be recorded, and I might stitch things together as far as like on a YouTube video about it. So you have to be open to being on um, being on camera, and also be open that our conversation is might show up in a like on a YouTube video in that regard. And again, the point of this is not to say like ha 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 you didn't know how to do this problem or anything like that. Which again, like I totally get, like students like that'd be kind of hard, especially if you just want help. Um, but the point that I'm trying to bring into is like I don't like my story from a struggling math student to becoming a math teacher and like having a math channel and everything like that, started with me, like being able to open myself up to understand like, hey, I don't understand this, right? And I need to figure this out, no matter what. But a lot of students, I think like, I don't know, maybe just like can't relate to that. Um, or they can't relate to it because, now I'm like a teacher, like now I'm like old, I'm not like a student anymore. Or, I have a YouTube channel, like, so it's just not relatable as much, as and for him. So that's why I wanted to have other students on that students can relate to, that we can like connect with. Um, and yeah, so I think telling somebody else's story through that, I think can be like beneficial. And I think that would be, I think it'd be really cool. So I have a couple of announcements that I will just hold off from on there, but I am looking forward to doing those kind of things coming up. So I'll let you guys know all about that next week. And then again, remember guys, next week, I will bring back into my open live Q&A. So if you do have questions on a math, like you're taking math and stuff like that, then we'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions on there. So otherwise guys, hope you have a great first day in 2023. And I'll see you guys next week at 8:30 on Sunday. All right. Cheers.